Hey everybody, this is Chuck McGregor from Parsons MILVET. Hope that you're doing good. We've got our next in the RallyPoint video series, and we're going to showcase some of the great things that military veterans are doing here at Parsons and reflect on the lessons that they've learned in their current roles that we can pass on to other members of the military community that might be in transition. Today, our guest is Ricardo Lorenzo, Parsons Chief Technology Officer and 21-year veteran of the Air National Guard. Rico graduated from Penn State and served in the Air Force in electronic warfare technology and engineering role. Rico joined Parsons in 2018 through the acquisition of Polaris Alpha, where he was an executive vice president, and by 2019, he was appointed the chief technology officer for Parsons. Rico, welcome to the show.
Hey, Chuck, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Hey, let's start at the beginning. Can you tell us about your early years in your path to join the Air Guard, please?
Yeah, so quite interesting. I'm the only in my family. It wasn't a family thing for me. So my family are, they're not in the military. I always had a thing for the mission, right? So I've always been very interested in kind of serving in some capacity. Wasn't sure early on when on how, but I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. And typical Puerto Rican woman, my mother heard me mention that I was vaguely interested in something military in my early years in high school. And one Saturday morning, she knocks on my door at 8 a.m. and she's like, "Get ready, we're gonna meet one of the chiefs that she happens to know in the Air National Guard in Puerto Rico." And we went over and they showed me it was a F-16 unit at the time, showed me the maintenance shop. And that was it for me. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. So went through the process, got my scores, and right after high school I signed up and went to basic. And it's hard to believe, but 21 years later, I retired in 2015 and had a very fun career, I would say, in the military, and it helped me tremendously in my civilian life. I actually attribute a lot of what I've accomplished in my civilian career to the military, my early military years in the Air National Guard.
What would you say? From the roles that you had in the Air Guard, how do they help you in your commercial technology role today?
Yeah, so for one, it helped me solidify what I wanted to do. So, you graduate high school, you think you know what you want to do. So for me, I went straight into basic and then into electronic warfare school, and that that solidified for me that electronics was an area and computers was an area that I was definitely passionate and interesting about. Couple that with mission. You probably hear me say that a lot because I truly believe it, regardless of what you do, right? So that led me to seek out a career in electrical engineering, and then later on seek out an opportunity supporting the DoD. Working with a previous DoD contractor was my first career. I've done my entire career has always been supporting the DoD as a engineer of some capacity, software engineer, electrical engineer, systems engineer. So I think couple that with security clearances, access, and having visibility into kind of the type of work that we do in the Department of Defense. I think that set the ways for me. So from there on out, it just became a function of learning more, understanding how we get technology deployed in support of the mission, whatever that might be. And then that led me to supporting a number of different customers. I actually ended up also deploying as a government contractor in some cases, deploying systems overseas. So I would say that, those early years in the military and saying, hey, this is kind of what I think I want to do, to, oh man, this is definitely what I want to do. Kind of was a stepping stone for me from that point on till now.
Yeah, that's great. It's interesting that you said mission first, because I feel like it's that mission first mindset that really differentiates transitioning military, from others, and just the ability to focus on what's important first and to prioritize, shoot, move, and communicate really differentiates us from others.
Yeah, I mean, when I use the term a lot because I don't only attribute the word mission to military, right? So to me, IT is a mission, right? So or legal is a mission, right? So like our functions or how we support our jobs is the mission that we're all kind of doing. So having that same mentality and saying, hey, this is what needs to get done. This is the goal that we're trying to achieve. And it has a result that's going to support an organization. In this case, it's Parsons, or it's one of our customers that we're supporting. So I think that, that passion towards accomplishing the mission successfully kind of plays in anything that we do.
Totally. Well, it seems like things are going well for you here, Parsons, and congrats, by the way, on the designation for the WashingtonExec 2023 CTO of the Year. Definitely good stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say, oh, that was just me. I took the hill by myself, but certainly that's just I happen to be the recipient of the trophy, and that just kind of goes to show kind of the type of work that we do, right? So I don't do anything myself. Everything is supported by a ton of people accomplishing it. So it's a testament of the type of work that Parsons does. When you see the type of other companies that were also at that table, it actually makes me proud of saying, hey, listen, this is from a technology point of view, applying technology to mission. We're certainly recognized, and it's certainly heading to a place where Parsons sees its strategy, where we see our goals and where we want to be moving up the value chain.
Yes. And speaking of the team behind you, in the CIO organization, and Stu Kippelman, incredible dynamic leader, his work and introducing us to workforce opportunity services has really been great, bringing in some veterans into our IT help desk. Just a great relationship that we were introduced through Stu.
Yeah, we're always looking for opportunities to kind of, support those who serve, right? So that, with that organization, finding the win-win is always key, right? So that's a perfect area where we can join forces and support, those who serve, and support gaps that we have within the organization as well. So I think that has been a very positive and tremendous partnership that we have, and I think that we see a tremendous amount of value in it, and so do they. So I think it's a great initiative.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. And it just speaks to that one pillar of our mission, which is to support underserved military communities, and that's quite frankly one of the most rewarding parts of this role that I have. So I'm very blessed to have that. Rico, thank you so much for your time today. Thanks for meeting with me and sharing some of these thoughts with the group, and thanks for all that you're doing to support veterans and your leadership here at Parsons.
No, thanks for having me, Chuck. Anytime, and anybody who has any questions or kind of want to know more, I'm happy to talk to them. So don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks again for having me.
Right on, you bet.